Welcome back. Well, this is not the last video, it's the second last. I do apologize, and I tend to say those things and try to finish quick and then make those mistakes when I feel that I'm under pressure and that I've talked too much and made this video too extensive. So maybe it's a good thing for you as well to inquire, when do you feel being, put under pressure and you make mistakes that otherwise could have been avoided if we were just coming from like a calm space of mind and heart. Just as a side note, learn to observe those patterns and see it's actually nothing wrong with it. If you make mistakes and you still don't obsess about correcting those mistakes, but let them be, because everybody makes mistakes, that makes you very likable. Anyway, how does our intuition bring us back the juice of life that we truly want? Well, we don't slave doing anymore what we don't want. We see that we do have a choice, and, we avoid a lifestyle that throws us out of balance. We avoid those things that feel wrong to us, in the same way as you can feel what's right for you, you can also feel what is wrong for you. And you don't live from this place, so you don't create so much havoc, so much imbalance. And in that, this lightheartedness arises, and you actually do those things more, like everything that you need to do, more from a place of ease when you live from the place of the heart. Also harmony and ease, as I said, through balance. Once your life is in balance, because you're not thrown out of balance, due to an unhealthy, head-driven lifestyle, you're in harmony, you're in balance, and you attract more practices in your life, or foods, or people who are also more in balance and just help you remain in balance, remain being in balance. That's a beautiful thing to observe. Also, the difficult things, when they appear, they are faced, when it feels right, in spite of the resistance, in spite of the fear. It's an organic process of self-therapy and looking within. I feel in the same way as when you cut your hand. You don't need to do anything in order for the healing process to happen. In the same way, mentally, psychically, psychologically, we don't need to do anything for the healing process to happen. It's just it needs to be allowed. In the same way as you don't kind of scratch and look whether the healing has already happened. In the same way as you don't do that because that's no good for the wound. You don't always look at what's wrong in your psyche, but just trust that it's going to happen, and those things will come up. You need to face your fears. I'm not saying they're not there, you should not bother, but in following your heart you will naturally encounter all your fears, and self-therapy, like the healing process of your psyche, of your mind, of all your wounds that happened in the past, will happen as a quite organic process, and that's a beautiful thing to observe if you see that. Also, the organic process of following our heart in our career, our relationships, it's quite an organic process. What I mean by that, it's a natural process. The attraction that our heart wants to follow, makes our life work out in our career and our relationship. We find the partner that truly supports us and that we can support, and that it just works out. And you have the sacred space of relationship as kind of the third part of those two, bringing it together, growing into something bigger than each individual part of the relationship. Also in your career, when you live from this place of intuition, your career just works out. You do something that's much more fulfilling than what you do right now, because you really find something to do. And in thinking creatively about what do you want to do, it doesn't need to be all in right from the start. It just doesn't mean that if your dream is to quit your job finally and then just go around the oceans on a yacht, doesn't mean that you should right now quit your job and then immediately jump on the yacht. For example, just cut down the hours and go work for something meaningful that you find more fulfilling, and then go incrementally after your dream. You see what I mean? Yeah. And we all are more in touch with our feelings in general. This is also how our intuition brings back the juice of life. We have a richer life altogether because we feel more. When we're in tune with our feelings, which is the natural entry gate towards our intuition. We need to feel through our feelings so we can actually arrive at our intuition. Then we have a very rich life. And so in doing what we love in our career and our relationship, doing what feels right, doing self-therapy on ourselves, naturally it's being done, so to speak, with us, for us. We just need to allow it and see it happen and kind of help provide a space for that. To see that we're in balance, intuition brings us back into balance in all these ways. We create a life where it's really full of joy, of fulfillment, the juice of life. is uncovered, so to speak, is tasted kind of the sacred nectar of this beautiful life that we all live on this journey. So I hope that you see that it's worth, and this is the point of this video, to see that it's worth following your intuition, because your life just works out. It brings back the juice of life, and this is what we're all after, isn't it? Aliveness. You know, going with our intuition helps us creating life circumstances that really nurture us. And how we do that is part of Module 8, which we'll be jumping in after the next conclusive video. So see you now really in the next video, and after that we jump right into Module 8 and see how we can apply that and get real life results. See you in the next video.